Young world, man, this whole thing with this Brooklyn shooter thing seems bogus. There's a couple different things that are real suspicious about the situation. Number one, the way they caught this Joker, they call him, somebody called it a tip. The tipster on 911 said this: I heard you were looking for me. I will be around the McDonald's in this area. Joker, that's not a tip. That's allegedly him calling the police on himself. Then he's down there at McDonald's, not at McDonald's, but around that area, and they show up down there and they catch him. That right off the bat just sounds bogus, along with so many different other things. They found this dude. He left behind numerous clues in his U-Haul van. He left a gun, ammunition and magazines, a hatchet, smoke grenades, gasoline, and the key to the U-Haul van. Who is going to do an act like this and then leave all the evidence there and just leave it behind and walk away? How did this 62-year-old 300-pound dude even get a chance to walk away from the area? Another thing, the surveillance cameras in the area didn't work. Not only did the surveillance cameras not work, the first responding police officer's radio didn't work. So all these coincidences just mysteriously at the same time just lined up like that. This Joker has 3 first names: James Robert Frank. Frank Robert James. Just like Lee Harvey Oswald. That's a code right there that I don't even want to say certain stuff, because the other thing with this whole thing is the fact that this dude was a YouTuber is going to bring about some BS into the YouTube community. The YouTube community, gun control, black people looking crazy, it just like kills so many different birds with one stone. What this dude did, you know what I'm saying? 33 shots was fired. Of course, the number 33, of all things, it had to be 33. We all know 33 is the number for them people, you know what I'm saying, the elites. So none of this stuff is adding up. None of this stuff, this whole thing just seems totally bogus. Even the stuff he was talking about on this thing, like he had a 9mm gun that he bought legally years ago to do this with. That don't even sound right, because they found all kind of different other clips, magazines, and everything at his house. To AR-15 ammunition and all these clips and all this different stuff. So who shows up to do a mass shooting with a semi-automatic handgun? Then you don't even kill nobody. That's the other thing. All them shots let off, not one person dead. That don't sound right. So this tells me this whole situation, this is about, you know what I'm saying, this dude is basically a Patsy, or whatever you want to call it. They put this Joker out there. He's probably an agent with them people. And now you gotta like really watch what you say with certain stuff, because this allows them to come in and just regulate all type of stuff. I got a notification yesterday, an email from AdSense talking about people talking about the Ukraine situation, and it was like specific wording they used. You could be demonetized and all this. It's like there's just more and more, you know what I'm saying, freedom of speech being taken away with each new thing. Just because this dude, whether this is a real situation or if he's an agent or whatever the case may be, you want to take, like, they'll take one situation and then use it to do all kind of other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, now they're gonna make it seem like any YouTuber that's on YouTube talking about black stuff, you know what I'm saying, or any type of stuff with the government or anything they're unhappy about, now they're gonna be trying to act like you're a terrorist. You know what I mean? Like, this whole thing is bogus as it gets. None of this stuff about this whole situation makes sense. You can't be 62 years old, 300 pounds, let off all them shots, all them people around, then you just get away in New York City, all them cameras around. Then the next day, you're just walking around in broad daylight, get caught by a tip. And now it looks like he tipped on himself and says, I heard you looking for me. That all sounds bogus, man. None of this stuff sounds even logical, even remotely logical. You know what I'm saying? This whole thing sounds like I said, like this dude was probably an agent. All this moving around he's doing, residents in Milwaukee, Philadelphia, New York. This whole thing just don't make sense to me at all. I'm saying this thing is bogus. But now you coming out here and saying stuff like that. Now they're going just like when Trizzy first came out and they started all the Donald Trump first came out. They started all these new regulations on YouTube and all the advertising was in jeopardy because certain stuff you couldn't say. It was just a whole big mess. It was the same type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But there's a bunch of things about the situation that look totally bogus.